Hello, everyone. Well, I would say everyone. We are back. We're back. Holy shit! You thought we'd gone forever, but you were wrong. You were wrong. So yeah, we're changing the format though, aren't we? Aren't we cracking?
Yeah. Might as well do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
A bit fresher.
Holy shit! A Wasted Cow's written an entire thesis in the chat. Might need to readjust the chat. That is a massive message to resent. Right, we're gonna get into all that because, as I said, with the new format, we used to have like segments, but we've had some discussions about this, and it's number one, it's been stifling conversation, and we're having a rush through things. We had a lot of feedback from our fans. I'm doing the inverted commas there. Basically friends or family members, about just trying to fit too much into an hour. So we're gonna fuck around now. We have no fault. I don't have a bit of paper. I don't have a phone with all the stuff in it. It's all gone now. It's that you're at the whim of our buffoonery, really. At this point, obviously we do. Yeah, just gonna be random shit now, really. But we do have this one subject that we'll probably have a subject we're gonna start with, and we'll probably end up discussing whatever is on our mind. But obviously, as you can tell by the title, this is about this Nintendo Direct bullshit, and I've got some serious things to say about this, and so does Kraken. It's bullshit, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's insane. You can't sell that shit for that price. I mean, come on.
Well, they're certainly trying. And look, I don't want. If there's any Nintendo zealots out there, I know, probably Nintendo fanboys are probably the most durable in the entire industry. I mean, they take it up the tailpipe anytime. Just to get a sniff of a new Mario Kart, which they have done. It's like, oh, it's a new Mario Kart. Just just empty my bank account. I'll take. You can take whatever you want. Yeah, just give you my bank account details and sort code, and just take everything out of it, because that's effectively what they're doing.
Well, do you reckon they've looked at how much people are spending on mobile games, and they're like, oh, we can get a bit of that? It just seems absolutely ludicrous. That's like a base level price for a game.
I mean, $80 is fucking madness. $80. Just think what you can do with $80, or the equivalent in euros or pounds. And that's for the digital version. The physical copy, and again, inverted commas for physical, is supposedly $90, which is fucking madness. We're in a crisis around the world, in terms of economies. Donald Trump's doing his very best to literally stick our economy in the dumpster.
Well, let's also understand, I don't think Nintendo are hurting at the moment either. So what is the need for this crap? It's insane.
Because their fanboys will pay the money, that's why. And what I'm scared about is that it's going to be a new industry standard. They'll be like, oh look, Nintendo's charging $8 for the game, so and people are paying for it, so let's start doing that on PlayStation, PC, whatever the fuck we can. Just why not? Rob people blind until someone says no. And that's really what it's about, is people not pushing back. We have done it before. Industry has done it. I mean, normally with games, we've started seeing that a little bit now. We've done the Concord thing and all that kind of shenanigans. People just not spending the money when they're like, fuck this, I don't want it. I'm not interested, so I'm not going to spend money on it.
Yeah.
I fear it's not going to happen here.
I mean, it does need to, because do you remember years ago when they started hiking prices on games, and their excuse was that piracy is, just rampant, and in order to recoup our losses or whatever, we have to increase pricing. And so people kind of just like, swallowed hard and just went, okay, fine, whatever. But now, like, I mean, come on. Half of it's not even, like, they're not even creating the physical copies as much anymore because everyone's console has a hard drive on it with space for their downloadables. And the price just keeps going up and up and up and up. And this is a jump. Like, this is just... this is
Do you imagine the dude at Nintendo in like the office meeting, and someone's like, the industry standard's around $60 for a game, for a regular release, so 50, 60, depending on the quality of the game. And they're like, and then you can imagine there's this one guy, what if we made it 70? And then so, what if we made it 80? And then so that's the fucking way forward. Let's make it $80.
No. It's like the meme and the one guy in the room that says, how about we just leave it as it is? And they get thrown out the window.
He get fucking bad. Yeah, he's like, you're fired, bitch. No one. Yeah, the guy who says $80, you're getting a rise and you're getting promoted. We need more people like this. See how much we can rob people of their money. I mean, $80 is just... Oh. It beggars belief. You do not need this kind of money. Like, the money that it takes to make the game, like, and the budgeting is, like, $80 is well beyond the costing.
You reckon, like, 100 years in the future, they'll be like, well, people pay a mortgage for a house. How about we make them pay a mortgage for a game?
Well, I mean,
fucking ludicrous.
It's a fucking digital video game. I mean, $80 is just nuts, man. I mean, it's getting to the point where, and this what I'm saying is like inflation. Everything's going up. Like, it's just like, but everything goes up except people's salaries, unless you're like the super rich. So it's like.
Do you reckon it's like a knee-jerk response, and it's like totally like a sort of a response to Trump's tariffs, and they're like, all right, fuck you then.
That would be crazy, but I don't think it is that. I mean, I highly doubt it.
That would be funny as shit if it was.
Nintendo.
Their basic games before were like 50, 60.
Yeah.
Like almost 50% jump is bloody mad.
But I mean, like for me, like video games couldn't really go higher. Like I remember thinking like 60 is, for just a bog standard game is like, I can't see it going higher than that. And then this shit comes out, and I'm like, really?
Something that's just to entertain yourself for however many hours you can get out of the game, obviously.
I mean, if you're on minimum wage or something like that, that's like approaching like what, like a twelfth of your salary for a single video game. That's nuts. Like, yeah, I mean, it pretty much would probably pay your electric bill for a month or some other similar like home bill. I
reckon we're like heading towards a utopian society where only the richest people can enjoy video games.
If it is that, man, then that's a depressing thought. I mean, I can't imagine that. I don't think that would ever work. Can you imagine? Well, actually, that's already happened. Actually, on mobile games, where people are paid.
Yeah. You start a game thinking you stand a chance, but
it's paid for by whales who basically pretty much single-handedly keep those mobile games going. Like the operating cost of those are being paid for by like probably the top like couple of % of people that are like literally paying hundreds of thousands into the game. Like the world's gone mad, and this is just another example of it. Nintendo, go fuck yourself. That's literally that's my feelings. Like you can literally go and fuck yourself. I will know. I was going to buy Nintendo, and you know what pisses me off as well? They got a fucking From Software game coming out there on as an exclusive. Yeah, but it's basically Bloodborne 2 at home. That's what I've been calling it.
Bloodborne 2, Blood from a Stone.
Yeah, but the meme that I at least make, and I wrote it on it was just like, that whole meme was like, can we have Bloodborne 2? And when the kids asking the mom, it's like, we've got Bloodborne 2 at home, and then Bloodborne 2 at home, like that meme. That's pretty much exactly what it is. Like, will I get it? Would I have got it if they weren't charging me fucking $80 or 80 quid? Or I imagine £80 it's going to cost me if I was to do that, plus the 550 to buy a Nintendo Switch 2, which for the record is like, they're bigging it up as if, dude, it's like PlayStation, like, I don't know what they got, like PS4 graphics. Like, they're like, yo, check out PlayStation 4 graphics in 4K. Like,
what's new about it? Because
it's like the old
shtick was basically we're innovators and we've got all these unique ways to play your games, and then so what's so innovative about this that's going to cost it the extra?
Well, they've caught up with the old. They've, you know, Switch. The first Switch was basically 720p, and it was like barely able to run any of the modern games. So now they're getting excited because they can play. You can play shit from like the PlayStation 5 that they finally caught up with, like the beginning of this current gen. Most people never cared about that in Nintendo. They were never really about the graphics, but it's more the fact that they can actually play like modern games. Like they put like, I think Final Fantasy like remake is on the list. Like a bunch of games that have already been out for ages on the other consoles or PC or whatever, and they're like touting it as just like, oh my god, you can play these on the go, like, which you can do anyway with like the Steam Deck, and in some respects you can do it with the PlayStation Portal, although you do have to have an internet connection. But it's to me, I've never really been impressed with that. It's like people get excited about Nintendo products as if they're sort of the holy grail. Not at $80, it ain't, bro. Like, no. That ain't it.
that certainly doesn't excite me in any way.
I mean,
shape or form.
I know I keep saying it, but it's like every time I say $80, I feel like a little bit of throw up in the back of my throat. Like it's absolutely, it's fucking ridiculous. The world's going mad, and people are gonna pay it. And I feel like I should go down to the local Nintendo shop and start beating people up that are trying to buy this shit, because these people are literally insane. I'm sorry, you are mad. You're paying $80. You are literally taking it in the ringer, bro. Like, if you are paying $80 for a fucking video game, you've literally lost your mind. You've lost your mind, and you are part of the, you know, you are a mad person. That's what you are, insane. You've lost critical thinking. You've lost the ability to
go back to school for re-education.
Yeah, it makes me mad because as much as I hate to admit it, I don't think this is gonna fail. I really want it to. Yeah. I would love for it to just be a fucking absolute like mega failure, you know, like a dumpster fire. Like it comes out, nobody buys it, nobody buys the games. It's just an absolutely fucking massive failure. Nintendo has to like double back on itself and fucking reduce all the prices. If that happens, I'll be like, thank you. Common sense prevails, and we're able to return to the current, you know, pricing systems for games. I think gaming is already expensive, but I understand, you know, AAA studio costs are a lot. You know, I don't mind paying $60 or £60 for a game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but unless you are touting some crazy technological advancement and something excessively unique about the games that you're releasing, a $20 or $30 rise on the prices of your games is absolutely, well, I mean, they're out of their goddamn minds, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's like as I said, the Apple of the video games industry. Sorry for any iPhone fans out there, but you know, sorry, like they're just
iPhone fans. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, Apple, you know, like people like Apple. I think Apple are another company that just takes advantage of all of its users by just basically just flogging them until they've emptied their bank accounts. Nintendo are the same.
Yeah, the retinal display.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like little things like Nintendo people getting excited about shit that's like already about 4 years old. Graphics and stuff. It's like, oh my god, we got games that have been out for like that for like the last 4 or 5 years, and it's not exciting. I'm sorry, like I'm not excited about it, but they are also unfortunately though, trends can trend set the industry because they've got that kind of power. You know, there's a lot of people that play Nintendo. Like, I don't mind the product, so I think I can see why people find them fun, but not when people are, you know, it's very predatory on people's nostalgia. I think Nintendo above everything. You know, like, what does PlayStation have? It doesn't have a fucking anything memorable when it comes to like games that are on. They've got lots of, you know, IPs, you know, like you know, exclusive games, but they're not like the nostalgia feeling that something like Super Mario provides.
No.
You know, it's from people's childhoods, from, you know.
Speaking of that nostalgia thing, like I that Burnout Paradise, like that for me, I know it was one of their like sort of main titles for a bit. Like, why the hell did they change it to that? Like, that was horrendous. They didn't even have like proper crashes or anything. Like, they were okay, but it was just such a drop.
I got to use this dad joke here, but the Burnout series literally burned out. Literally.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's terrible.
I mean, the last one, there was one that was good. That was like, I mean, this is back in like Xbox, like the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation late. Oh,
Yeah,
no, Paradise was the last good one.
What?
Oh, yeah.
No, Paradise was terrible.
I thought it was all right. I mean, I played
Paradise
them.
is the open world one.
Yeah, I didn't mind that personally.
What?
Yeah.
You have to like drive to the races and
Yeah, but they had crashes. They had like big crash ones that you could do in the real world.
Yeah, but it didn't have the old like the crash mode, like where you had to rack up all the points like from the original ones.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a huge Burnout fan. I mean, I didn't dislike it, but I liked the early Burnouts. They were good games, you know.
I remember those ones where they had like jumps lined up with a bridge that was just like filled with buses and trucks and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And to me, that was like the allure for the whole thing. Like, the racing was awesome as well. And it just had that extra bit on the side made the game as a whole so much cooler, because you'd race, you'd unlock cars, and then you could try and take out, you know, or increase your points on the Burnout like crash mode. And that was just so cool. And then they just changed it to a racing game that you crash in, and it's like, really? Like, come on, like, bring the arcadey side back as well. Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
And that was one for me that they sort of you know,
wasn't that EA as well? Look, it used to be someone else, and it brought up. But it's another EA example, I think.
Oh, for God's sake, EA can't leave anything good alone, can they?
No, they've pretty much just systematically destroyed like every one. A whole ton of my childhood memories like have been abolished by EA. I mean, there's like the fucking Palpatine of if Palpatine in Star Wars is representative of pure evil, then EA is literally the fucking dark side. Like,
just a bunch of like these weird CEO dudes sitting around a desk going, right, which IP can we bomb today?
Yeah, they should. EA should make games for Nintendo. That you know, they're probably already thinking of that. Like, oh, $80.
Nintendo signs exclusively with EA.
That would be funny as fuck. That would be like the downfall of like. That would be like the ultimate dark side. Nintendo and EA combined to rob people of money. I mean, literally. There's like algorithms of that already, like Raid or Shadow Legends, whatever that shit is. That game was designed by people that were financial experts. It's an actual game. It's an experiment to see how much basically you can rob people of money, which is hilarious. But it's what I'm saying. The industry is always looking for new ways. The gaming industry, sadly, I mean, I love games. I still do, despite the fact that there's a lot of shit in the industry these days. But I have faith that it will one day return to people just wanting to have fun. At the moment, it feels like it's a constant uphill battle with people using it. I know it's a business, and I'm not saying not make money, but for fuck's sake, like, don't punish gamers for wanting to game. Like, that's all we're doing is just taking advantage of us, like, because of our love for gaming. They use that as like some sort of like leverage to just be able to rob us. And I hate that, man. It's just the worst kind of opportunism, like exploitism, fucking whatever you want to call it. predatory behavior.
It's just straight up nasty.
Yeah. I mean, I want it to stop. I wish I could wave a wand, do like a Harry Potter, and be like, "Fuck you, Nintendo," and then, you know, I don't know, something happens. The guy in Nintendo like wakes up tomorrow and he's like, "Guys, we're gonna stop being cunts," and then he'd probably get fired. Then, to be fair, so it'd have to be the whole of Nintendo as a group wake up one day and be like, "We're gonna stop robbing our fucking player base and actually just continue making really fun games." The irony of Nintendo is they make games that are all like happy and positive, and all the characters are like, "Yay, life, yay!" This is, you know, all the, and that's the reason people play them. I think another part of it is because they want to play this sort of the positivity that Nintendo brings people, like joy and happiness or whatever, and they exploit that to the absolute maximum. You know,
it's weird. Like, did they make any recent acquisitions or something, or did some other company decide to join forces with them? Like, it seems like such a bizarre spin around.
I think it's just like corporate greed, man. That's literally it. Someone in the company thought we could get a couple more doubloons out of people, as Penguin Z's would say. You know, they just get the doubloons out of people, just rob people with more money, as much as we can get out of people. You know, a Nintendo, I really don't know enough about their games to really determine them, but I don't know how heavy they are with the microtransactions and stuff like that. But, you know, if they don't, then maybe they're like, we're not getting enough money in microtransactions. We need, like the rest of the companies are, we need to like increase, you know, our uptake. And $80, they probably thought, well, we can probably get away with it. I mean, what are people's thoughts? I mean, and we got a couple of viewers, people watching. So whoever's watching, what are your thoughts on this whole Nintendo Direct bullshit? Because, you know, I would love someone to tell me who out there is sitting there going, "This is great. I love this. Oh, I'm looking forward to paying $80-$90. That's the other thing, with like $90.
It'd be Bill Gates.
Well, yeah, there's definitely Nintendo people probably thinking this super hype about this, and they don't care. Either they've got too much expendable income, or they don't care enough about having to spend the extra money. There's $90 for a physical copy, and again, the physical copy involves sticking something in, like almost like a, not a cartridge, it's like a little thing that goes into your Switch 2, and it's basically an uploaded version of the game from the network. You basically play it. So it's like get the equivalent of like renting a game, but you have
so it's not even a physical copy. It's just like a physical key.
It's like a key to unlock something, yeah, and then which they can take away from you at any time as well. So it's not even like a, you know, like when you have a physical disc or something.
So like in San Andreas, where they suddenly lost, well, the license for all the music ran out, so they updated forcefully everyone's music, changing it to this bog standard random shit.
Yeah, I heard about that. It was pretty funny as well.
Yeah. I was really pissed off because the music's fucking terrible.
Yeah, the problem with this is that they don't think about the contracts when they like make them, and then like after a certain amount of years, all of these contractual obligations have been expired or something, and so they're like, fuck you can't use it anymore.
The thing is, they're able to do it with people that paid for the digital version, but people who have the solid state version, like an actual physical disc, they can't do it to. So it's like, come on, like, surely if you can't do it to the physical disc owners, then you shouldn't be able to do it to the fucking digital copy owners. Like, that just seems absolute. It's bullshit. Sorry, but it's actual bullshit.
It is, yeah. But, I mean, these sort of things are happening constantly, actually. Especially in Steam. I think Steam's probably the one that gets games getting deleted, people don't mention it, or like the multiplayers are like cut off and nobody's told about it. You know, these things are happening all the time. Like, I'm also concerned about the console future, because obviously, like PlayStation 5, you know, they want players to be co-owners of their own games. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much exactly right, until they don't want them to be co-owners. So they'll be like, yeah, you can be co-owner for now until we decide to take that away. Like, you know, you pay for the game. So I've purchased the game. I shouldn't have to be like, oh dear, Steam Daddy, like you own the game, like, and you can just pull the rug underneath me. I've paid for that. I own it. I have the right to to have my copy of that game. And the digital games are all good. I like it, but I don't like the way that the ownership works. I had this weird thought the other day about what happens when people die, and you have an entire library.
You lose the library, yeah.
Like,
I honestly think it is ridiculous because if you let's say for example, when you buy a house and you go for a shared ownership, you can buy the other person out, so it's yours. But they have, I think that at some state, like long before all this, these decisions were made. Like we ease the players into it slowly, and then they've just got impatient and shoved suddenly this whole fucking plan where people don't own their own shit anymore. And it's just going to go. It's going to expand from there. It'll be on everything.
Yeah.
I reckon you'll have to start renting absolutely bloody everything in the world. It's a joke.
What's that comment from Wake? I can't. My screen's a bit difficult. Can you got the chat up there, Kraken? Can you read it out?
You pay for the console, then the $90 game, then you don't actually own the game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Well, soon you won't even own the console. They'll just be like charging you like a mobile, but it will be a rolling monthly contract.
But to be fair, they already do that. PlayStation can they have to have good reason for it, but Sony can brick your console. They can literally, or they can. Yeah, they can. They can. I think they can brick your console. Like they can literally disable your console.
Well, they can disable your multiplayer access or your network access, but the thing, other companies are doing it in other areas, so it is definitely a spreading kind of phenomenon. I don't know if it's 100% true, but someone else would have to confirm this for me. The Sky Glass that you get the TV with that has that special speaker underneath, it's a lovely, lovely, sleek speaker. If you don't pay for your Sky, but you've finished paying off the television, you no longer have access to the lovely sound that comes out of that particular speaker.
What?
It won't enable the digital programming that allows for the special Dolby or whatever the fuck it is that speaker can run. Like you can still hear sound from it, but it's not processed sound. It's not processed for the cinematic style that it has available when you've got the subscription running, which I think is a prime example of companies finding ways
monetizing
to charge people ongoing, monetizing every tiny little thing.
Can you imagine that'd be like something? Be like the best one would be funny was like if you bought a console, right? And they'll be like, oh yeah, you bought the console, but you need to pay another £15 to be able to plug it into your television. You know, you plug it in and be like, we've noticed you've plugged in an HDMI port for your PlayStation 5. Yeah. Unfortunately, in order to be able to receive the signal, you need to pay $15.99. I actually shouldn't say that because there's probably someone fucking from Nintendo going, "What a great idea!" Yeah, let's do that shit.
I think a more realistic one would be like, you get the console and it has HDMI standard. But if you want to upgrade, you can pay a plan to have access to the HDMI 8K or something.
Right, we shouldn't be giving people ideas
like
here.
That. Well, no,
fucking some dickhead at EA or fucking Nintendo's gonna come on here and be like,
you'll get a phone, right, and the camera will still take good pictures, but it will have a program on there that you will need to pay a monthly fee for the extra, professional features of it. It will happen.
Yeah, that's a terrifying thought, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll do it on everything.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They keep pushing as much as they can in these sections to just continually find ways to take money off the customer, and that's really what the big problem is. And I can't stand that as a premise. EA's foaming at the mouth seeing these Nintendo moves. You know what, bro? That's exactly what they're doing. EA are as I said, the fucking Palpatine, Darth Sidious, fucking dickhead. EA are a blight on the gaming industry. I would literally everything they touch just burns.
And you think it'll be EA, it's in the bank.
Yeah, it was. They were
absolute
fucking
rip-off,
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yeah.
That's not. It's fucking in people's wallets, and they're taking it. You have monthly fees on some car services. What do you mean?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean on car services? What are you talking about?
I think with Tesla you can
Oh,
pay for some special upgraded stuff. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. Elon Musk probably very pro robbing people as much as he possible. We're talking of Elon Musk. Have you seen this latest thing? He's playing PoE 2 in his plane, and boasting about his 60 ping using his Starlink connection. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. They're like sitting there, and he's like in his like private jet, like playing Path of Exile 2, and he's like going, "Oh, its connection's fucking amazing."
And if you imagine as well, he's most likely, I mean, not most likely, he's definitely got like a priority service on that as well. It's quite funny. Fuck, man.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can have, with that kind of money, you can have whatever the fuck he wanted, man. You could have like a satellite on his fucking plane, like doing like with a fucking 10 gig connection. You know, just probably, you know, so it doesn't surprise me at all. I bet that to actually have that as an actual person, though, is probably extremely unlikely. Like, it's like, how much is that internet costing you, Elon? Oh, what's that? £4,000 per minute? Okay, right, yeah, well.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, I think there's a little bit out of our price range. Tesla, BMW, and some other brands have a variety of monthly service things. Soon it's going to be sorry. You didn't pay your monthly service. You can't enter the motherfucking car. Do you know what? If it said the motherfucking part, I would actually give a bit of fairness on that, because that would make it at least humorous. Yeah. But yeah, like it's a kind of old joke. The joke that used to be like, you know, you get taxed on oxygen. And it's still...
America's had OnStar, hasn't it, for ages? Like that's like that on-board thing. So like with certain brands of car, if you break down, you can call for help without like needing a phone. But it's got like other shit too. So if your car gets stolen, they call the police as well. Like,
that'd be like, imagine like driving your car and it's like, pull over, and you like pull over and you're like, and it's like, I'm sorry, your subscription has expired. Your car will no longer function now. Be like, what?
Wait, no, it'll be a combined self-drive, so it will pull itself over.
Just drive away. Get out the car, motherfucker. Get out now.
Reactivate your subscription.
No, yeah, but it just drives away. It's like, get out the car. And it closes the door itself, and then be like, when you're ready, you know, and to pay your fucking thing.
To factory.
Yeah, returning to factory. Returning to car dealership. To sell it to someone who's going to pay their fucking subscription.
Man, that shit sounds insane. I mean, it just reminds me of like Demolition Man. Cars are just like zipping around on their own.
Well, man, that's a terrible world to consider. Cyberpunk 2077 is getting realer and realer. You know what, bro? Absolutely. Like that world is coming. I mean, there's so many good things about it as well. I mean, the AI thing, which I want to talk about, because I know we've talked about AI, but it's just an ongoing fascination, isn't it? Really, the whole AI thing.
Oh yeah.
So like we had this premise about AI, right? If it takes over everyone's jobs, right? Because let's be honest, EA will be the first people to be like, can we just fire everyone except for the CEO and just have everything working on like ChatGPT, right? No more need for coders. We'll just get ChatGPT to write all the code. Like games will become homogenous. They'll just be fucking boring, lifeless, soulless pieces of shit. Everyone's gonna be poor because they don't have anything to work. They can't work because everything's fucking run by ChatGPT or whatever the modern equivalent at the time will be. So the problem occurs though is, how the fuck can you have an economy when everyone's unemployed? How's that going to work?
They've got an AI system at the moment that they're kind of like in the process of testing, and people have managed to get it to effectively identify and build and run like an online business, earning them money with just simple prompts, like make me some money doing
make me some money.
Like, fucking hell. Yeah, but that's how ridiculous it's getting. Like when that comes out, it'll have a subscription fee, no doubt. But This,
Oh,
it
bro.
can build websites with all the coding, with all the links, the
Yeah,
hyperlinks.
yeah.
It can set up the advertising. It could do the entire goddamn thing. I mean, it's madness. Honestly, it's
All we
absolute
need is the
madness.
robots to like. This was what I was saying. I was like, if the world allowed it, right? This was my idea: is you buy robots, right? That you buy from a store, and you load them up with some shit. Like, you go be a fucking customer service bitch, and off you go. You go to customer service, and they literally, the company pays you to like lease the robot to do work, and you just sit at home.
But why would they have it from us when it would just be the company itself selling it to these businesses and having them pay a subscription fee?
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean that would be functional. Unfortunately, these corporations are getting an insane amount of power. Arasaka incoming. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's exactly true. I think it's a matter of time. I'm not sure if it will be in my lifetime. I don't think it will certainly.
It will be. It will. In the next 10, 20 years, the shit's gonna start happening. Like really, like it'll happen.
But that's good because I'll be fucking retired and I can send my bot off to do like basically it's like the equivalent of Command and Conquer, right? But in real life, you sit in your base and you send your little bitches out to do work and they come back with money.
Yeah, but that's only going to be people who can afford to buy these things to do that.
Well,
and that's going to be where the kicker will. It'll end up with society.
Well, hang on. Wait. Right. No. I've figured it out. I can rent some, right, to make the money and save up with them to buy them to send out more, to like buy more to send out more. And so I've got like a whole phalanx of like 20 bots like doing like.
But dude, there's companies out there with billions that would just do all this from the get-go and just flood the entire market. It won't be anywhere near for a normal person to own and run these things.
Whilst I agree with that, I don't think it would be possible. It's like having a monopoly on the market. You can't allow it legally. So people would need to be. You'd need to have an economy, man. You can't just have like fucking 1% of the world.
Yeah, but if you work, let's say, for example, a good example, well, not an amazing example, but a good example would be the Star Trek universe, right? Where most people, they work for station, don't they? Not money. And society itself, like on Earth, other places in the galaxy and universe, they run off like their own various currencies. But we'll get to the point where people will not need to work. And they will.
That's the premise.
Some kind of actual living cost for everyone.
We go. Fucking.
It won't be like job seekers.
We go golfing, bro, or like
Yeah.
Go on a cruise or whatever the fuck we like. Yeah. Like we don't have to do.
I would like to believe that could happen, but I think it'll collapse long before that even becomes potential. Like I think all these big businesses will just. They won't give a shit.
They'll collapse under their own greed, man. Because economies have to exist, whether the richest 1% of the world want it or not. You can't just crash 99% of the whole economy, because there will be nothing to buy. Because everyone will be living in poverty. Like it will be that would literally be the outcome of a dystopian world.
It will be. Yeah, sorry. Earlier I said utopian. It's dystopian. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, that's exactly where it's headed. If you really think about it, if everything you do,
I hope that we fucking can avoid that.
Yeah, but I don't think we can. I think it's quite terrifying where it's actually headed.
It's fucking Skynet from the Terminator. Man.
Yeah, but except it won't be just sending up robots to kill people. It'll just be controlling all the finances on the entire world. Normal people won't get a look in.
If that's the case, then just as well we'll be on the last sort of part of our lifespan, because I wouldn't want to be in a world where it's fucked, man, like that.
I think the vast majority of humans will exist in like slums. Basically.
Squalor.
Yeah.
Misery, fucking just shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wake says, I think these big corporations, dystopian future is very realistic. Yeah, no, it's scary, man. Like, as much as I want to have hope for humanity, but I think greed has no bounds, and neither does the richest 1% of the world. Would literally you know, they'll be like, oh fuck it, if the whole world goes to shit, we can go live in our fucking £4 billion bunkers with our like 200 million cans of baked beans. Worst case scenario. You know, like
at least the ones with at least ones with sausages in, because I couldn't survive on just beans.
Oh, the new tikka masala ones, man. They got like the curry ones. They're really good.
What?
Yeah,
damn.
they got. They even got. They had a dude. They're talking about that. There's a Vindaloo one, right? Which was like they only made like a very limited amount of them, and people are spending like fucking £700 on like a fucking a Vindaloo packet of baked beans. Like the world is mad. Like buying, that's another thing, is people spending money on shit that has no. I hate to use the word.
Wait till it says it again. The dystopian stuff. It'll all be financial control, right? But you know the stuff about China and their social credit score, right? I reckon a lot of it will be down to that. It will be literally everyone being completely and utterly controlled, and you will only have access to certain services if you are a very good citizen, you know, and it's gonna be mad.
A good citizen.
I do feel, honestly, no, seriously, they lose.
What's the definition for a good citizen?
Well, obeying the government and the rules that they set.
Which, but what would be an example?
It's good. Well, let's just say you're not allowed any. I don't know. Let's say you're not allowed any adult content, right? And they bust you with porn, then you lose like 100 citizen points, let's call it.
Oh man,
then all of a sudden but you then lose access to public bathrooms.
This is some communism shit right here, man.
Yeah. But in reality, when you've got these massive companies running all of it, that's what's going to happen.
Wake, I wonder what will happen when these brain chips Elon was backing. Huge potential for those, but could go south. Brain chips? That sounds fucking terrifying. I don't want anyone fucking around with my brain,
dude,
bro.
Mate, have you not seen the videos? They've got them implanted in pigs, and they get them to do stuff by computer. It's fucking mad, man.
I actually haven't seen that, but that sounds absolutely terrifying. That literally could be that's like the end of the world, man. That would be like people just the rich people having everyone put in like brain chips and then like mass controlling them.
Yeah.
Go to work, bitches. Earn my money.
It won't just be the rich people. They'll just be talking to their AI supercomputer. Sorry, their AI quantum computer that will have access to.
I am Lord Musk. Do my bidding, bitches.
And they'll be like, oh, we need a new wall built over there. And it'll just like select people at random that are big enough, strong enough to be able to do it and just send them off to go build the wall. For like worker ants in a hive. Yeah. It'd be fucking horrible.
Oh, that is absolutely That is unconscionable, man. That is absolutely horrible. The thought of that is the social credit. He's right. The social credit stuff is scary, man. He's right that they did on a Black Mirror. You do one thing wrong and the people won't talk to you, and it ruins you. Oh God, that's depressing thought, isn't it? We've gone from like Nintendo happy Mario Karts to like the end of the world, effectively in the most horrible way possible. Yeah. I mean,
they've got facial recognition vans in the UK at the moment, in like major cities, mostly London at the moment. They're doing sort of a blanket test. And effectively, if you walk past and you have some kind of outstanding warrant or something, or you have unpaid fines, the police with these units will grab you and arrest you on the spot. And they actually misidentified someone because obviously facial recognition isn't perfect. And the dude got held for like an hour on the street, and he was actually like a street helper. Like it was the wrong fucking person. The facial recognition said that it was a scar on his face, and he didn't even have a scar on his face, and they still kept him anyway because he looked suspiciously like someone who was wanted. I was like, for fuck's sake. This is literally, the world is turning.
I mean, the thing is, I think we're in a crucial point right now where a lot of these things are like the difference between imagination and actual realistic like potential. Like I want to remain on the side of human spirit. I like to think human spirit will prevail because I feel there's a lot of bad things.
There'll be pushback. There will be pushback. 100%. There's too many people not to be.
Yeah, I mean, I just want. I like to think that human beings, like us as a collective. I know we have a lot of stupid people in the world, but we also have a lot of very smart
That's
people.
an understatement. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have some smart people.
I think the most concerning thing to me is countries as a whole. Like the borders are what cause so many wars. Like, this is my territory, get out. Like, in order for the world to really accelerate in its development, people need to not give a shit about borders. Like, yeah, have your own house and shit, obviously, but when it comes to lands, if there were no borders, no one would really care. You could go and settle wherever you want.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that might have worked if we'd done that from the very beginning. But now you've got like cultural, religious, inbuilt fucking like things in all of these cultural references between countries that have their own beliefs, their own ideals, their own perspectives. Like land within those regions represents a whole community, like a national community.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
So you can't really be
that's down to history. No, I'm not saying it would fix everything. Of course it wouldn't. But if you're right, like basically if we had started off that way rather than being so excessively tribal like we are, the world would be a damn sight better.
Yeah. Wake says, I agree. Yeah, human spirit is amazing, but companies like I assume you mean Apple, don't want spirit, they want conformity. Yeah, I mean, all companies want conformity, that's why, but they also will try things on, like this Nintendo Direct thing is another example of companies just testing the water. Well, they don't even test the water, they're arrogant enough to think that this will happen.
Past companies used to say, like, we make what the user wants because that drives sales. But now it's like we make what we want the user to have because that it will be our future. And it's like, Jesus Christ, they don't really think about the users anymore. All they're concerned about is with their own intellectual property and controlling what you can see, do, and watch or whatever. It's terrible. Like there's no real freedom left.
Well, the thing is that you need a counter company. It's like the people what's the name of the company? Larian, is it? The Baldur's Gate studio.
Yeah,
those are an example of people that just make games because they love games and they want people to enjoy their games. That's what it should all be about. They're one of very few companies that exist that do it for the love of the game. And you know what? They said, we're not going to reduce the cost of Baldur's Gate. We're not going to put it in sales, but we're not going to charge you for any DLC. You get the whole fucking game. And you know what? I was sitting there. You take all the money, bro. Like you don't need to reduce the cost of it. Yeah. You earned all of that,
They made that shit for the love of the game more than anything else, and they had faith that people would see that, and they did, and that's what matters. Like the user is important, of course, but if you're making a product that is truly something that you love, then other people will too, to a certain degree. Like, it depends on what it is, obviously, but if it's something for fun and people enjoy it, then you are creating something that.
But we've seen this in recent. We've seen this. Be honest, we're talking a lot of negative stuff here, but there's been an awful lot of positivity in the industry very recently. Like pushback on shit that's just crap. I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds came out, and it's like Capcom's biggest flagship game now. 8 million copies sold within week 1 or something? It was fucking nuts. People love that game, and the reason they love it is because it's more of what people want. It's not like trying to, fuck around with it too much. They create some new stuff, but they bring the same monsters back. People just want to have fun with stuff that they enjoy, man. They don't want you to recreate the wheel, or like fill it with fucking microtransactions and shit like that. And even if there is, like, Monster Hunter Wilds has some like store stuff, but it's not like a requirement. It's just like, different clothing sets or just like emotes and shit like that are really completely not necessary, for the game.
Yeah. I was just to respond as well to Wake again.
Yeah.
When they made that speech calling out the rest of the industry, there was clap back from the rest of the industry because they were like, "How dare you tell us?"
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I just thought it was amazing.
I saw that as well.
How dare you tell us what to make?
They also said that it's unreasonable. They said it was unreasonable to expect this from other AAA studios What a load of fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we want to rob you, you know, but we don't want to say it openly. We just want to try and hide behind, oh, it's the costs are different, you know, they had lower costs than us and stuff. It's like, fuck off. It's like, you could make games at similar costs, you know, you just overspend.
Maybe they need their own Doge.
Yeah, I think a lot of them don't care about costs. They just overspend on budget and then fucking basically expect the customer to pick up the slack.
Yeah, but now EA is more interested, I think, in the future. A lot of their games is going to be AI made.
Fucking Dragon Age. Oh. I don't think we talked about that. Velgard. Where do I start with that absolute fucking dumpster fire piece of shit of a game? Like, I'm sorry if anyone out there thinks it's good. There are people that actually defend this game, but it is the furthest away from a Dragon Age game. If you look at Origins, which is one of my favorite games of all time, like Dragon Age Origins was a fucking masterpiece. This isn't about like gender orientation or anything like that, because if I remember correctly, in Origins you could have sex with Alistair. Like, you know, there was nothing to do with any of that fucking shit. Like, it was just a great game through and through. Like, nobody cared that it had that in it. It wasn't like, oh my god, like, no fucking gender stuff. It's just
if it fits in the story, it fits in the story. Why mess with it? Like,
yeah, like there's this fucking dragon woman in a fucking house talking about stuff, and she feels it necessary to be like, oh, I'm non-binary. What does this have to be in a fucking Dragon Age game, bro? This is just, it's just, no. It doesn't need to be there. Like, it just doesn't. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. This is a game that's designed in a fantasy setting where these premises don't exist. This is a concept that's made outside of fantasy. It's in a real world concept, and like you're inviting these like world concepts into a fantasy setting. The whole term fantasy, like this fucking game is another thing that will melt me down. Like, God's sake, like, you know, less of that shit, please.
Yeah, they're trying to play to a sort of smaller subsection of the community that get angry if they are not represented. And the problem is, when you do that, you're changing the story of your own making. Like, you made a story and then you're changing it to include something that wasn't there. So it's going to be jarring in the vast majority of the times. And people could say that they think it fits. It doesn't. It doesn't, because the person never really wanted to include it in the first place.
People have forgotten that video games are an escapism for a lot of people. For a vast majority of people, come home from their work, they cook some dinner, and they sit down, just like someone who wants to watch a movie, or someone wants to go out to dinner, or whatever it is that someone wants to do, read a book. Video games represent that in the same manner. People want to play a game to get away from the humdrum of society, not to have it fucking re-injected into their favorite fucking fantasy game, to have to deal with like political or ideological fucking concepts in a fucking game. Like, leave that shit out of it. I know there's people that are like, no, we should include it in games because it helps bring, you know, what is it, the argument that everyone, the fucking same argument that's always pushed on me whenever I talk to people that are anti this, is always, it brings you know, it's like, if you got a platform, you should bring it to the masses out so more people know about it, that kind of thing, you know. It notifies people and lets them know about these things existing. I know these things exist. I don't need them in the game. It's a video game. This is not a political statement. Like, leave it out of the fucking gaming industry.
Yeah, if I'm playing a game about magic, I'm playing a game about magic. I don't give a flying shit about anything else. There's no need to like shove everything in or crowbar it in.
Wake says one of the boys from the Monster Hunter group said he loved Dragon Age and couldn't keep playing the new one because it was inappropriate for his daughter to watch. It's actually really sad. What the fuck did they think they were doing? Well, exactly, man. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly. But
they're trying too hard to preach.
They're getting a lot of pushback. They gave out Velgard on free last month on the PlayStation monthly games. I downloaded it. I still added it because it's like a AAA title, but I won't play it. It'll just sit in my library. Yeah. But that just shows you that
you contributed to the numbers.
Well, I didn't buy it. It didn't cost me a single penny. Oh, no. So,
but PlayStation, it may not have cost you a single penny, but part of your subscription will now be designated to the people that made that game. because it's the same thing with Netflix. Like, depending on how much some people watch a certain show, the makers of the show receive royalties. So you may not have paid anything, but Sony did.
Yeah, it's whatever. I download everything I get from the monthly because I want to get my money's worth of stuff. I don't play like 95% of the games that come out on that. Either I already own them because I want the game. It tends to be that a game will come out and I tend to get it anyway. So the monthly games, it's rare that I play any of them because I don't actually, I either own them already.
I would imagine Sony probably had some kind of proviso within their contract that states if a person gives back or deletes the game from their library without more than 2 or 3 hours worth of gameplay, that they wouldn't have to pay them shit. Maybe you should do that.
Wake says nobody's even playing the new Velguard, even if it's free. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to know what the percentage of people that have just added it to their library and not even fucking downloaded it. Not even like opened it or downloaded it.
Have a look at the fucking achievements and see how many people have earned
0. I don't know. I don't really care enough about the game. Like Dragon Age is it's EA, isn't it? Again? Oh, what a surprise!
Yeah.
All of it fucking EA. Like, this is like the third game in today's podcast that have just ceremoniously come in, and it's a fucking EA problem. EA, fucking someone needs to just go in there, and whoever's responsible need to weed them out and like replace them with like an actual like human beings, because I just feel like it's the fucking it's like the Dark Sith Lord fucking High Command in there, just making the worst possible decisions.
I think the general rule that should be blanket across all video games: do not politically charge your shit. Like, for fuck's sake, honestly, they do not politically charge anything you make, because you're just asking for trouble. Then it's not about go woke, go broke, but it's the moment you politically charge it, everyone's like, come on. And a good example would be like, I watched a show called was it The Good Fight? It's about a bunch of lawyers, but it's very, very, very fucking clear that it's made by Democrats in America. And it is so anti-Trump. It's borderline hilarious.
Yeah, but that's fine. Politics are gonna politics. Man.
Yeah. No, but my point is, like, whilst they made some funny jokes, there were some that even me, who doesn't really give a fuck about that side of American politics, was going, oh my god, seriously, another one again? Like, this is what I mean. Like, as soon as you start overstuffing something into something you've made, there will be people out there going, all right, come on, give it a rest, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I mean, Wake says here, I saw it was free and thought, oh, that's cool, I'm not going to play it. I wonder, that's pretty much everyone's fucking thought who saw Velguard on there. I have a friend of mine who's like a big Dragon Age fan, and he saw that it was free, and I said, oh, it's free on PSN. He's like, I'm going to play it. I was like, do you really want to give yourself PTSD on that? Like, you're going to play it and then just be like disgusted by it. Because it's no longer Dragon Age. Like, it's some absolute abomination now, and probably will not recover. I've heard the sales for Velguard were incredibly bad, and probably EA. No, I'm sure EA will just fucking close the door on Dragon Age, saying there wasn't a market for it. Oh, I wonder why, EA. I wonder why. It's not. There wasn't a market for Command and Conquer. Exactly. There's no market for half the fucking titles that you did because you made a shit copy of the franchise game. You like come in here and just destroy it. You destroyed Ultima as well, which another game that I used to love in my childhood, and until you fucking bought it up and drove it right into the ground. The games are limitless.
They assassinate IPs. That's what they do. Because they're like, oh, let's go on to the next new big thing. Like, no, just how about if you've got a winning formula, continue using that winning formula. Don't try and rinse it. Don't try and do something new. You can add the odd new thing to it, but as soon as you rewrite the entire fucking game, it is not that game anymore.
20 EA games that franchises they've ruined. There's like 20. The fact that there's 20 games that you can mention is already terrifying. Some of these, like, like Need for Speed's another good example. That's just homogenized fucking bullshit now.
Dude, they can't be serious with the cringy growling they them dragon character does. It's absolutely grotesque.
They
I haven't
them
even
dragon.
seen that, but I can actually just imagine that shit.
That's so cringe, man.
I've seen videos on YouTube of furries doing that.
Yeah, no, they actually came with some. They had fucking actual statistics that 200,000 people had sex with the bear.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you can have sex with a bear in. Oh, is it? No, this is Baldur's Gate, so I'm getting my.
Yeah, that was in Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
It's in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
But still, like, there was 200,000 people had sex with bear. Like, lol.
Well, they picked the bear, didn't they?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, there's all kinds of cringy scenes from Velgard. There's a lot of them. I've seen enough where I was just like, I'm never going to open that game ever. I mean, I did like add it to library, but I will never download that unless someone comes to my house and holds a gun and says you will play Velgard.
Yeah. I like my games sans Gorgonzola. Thank you very much.
Sans Gorgonzola. It's worse than Gorgonzola, bro. It's literally just like.
I don't know. Gorgonzola tastes like farts.
No.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is like it's literally just a game that's been like with identity politics like jammed into it. Like.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Which.
It's that other shit too, like when they make it really cringy at the same time. Like, for fuck's sake, the reason why it comes across as so cringy is because it's not natural. It doesn't feel natural putting it in. And then they get, as he says, a dragon character doing some weird growl, like Jesus Christ.
Like some fucking sounding like what's that guy? Yeah. That fucking Austin Powers. Like doing that kind of
yeah, exactly.
Wow, baby. Yeah, that's cringe. But yeah, to be honest, like I was a medium fan. Like Dragon Age for me was like slowly going downhill, but like not like it was going like for Origins was the peak for Dragon Age for me. Like the next Dragon Age 2, whatever it was, wasn't very good. I don't remember being very memorable.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if they had TikTok dances in Velgard.
I mean, probably. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of fucking dumb shit being put into the game, but you know, hopefully there's also been, like I said, these are all like we focus on the bad, but there's been some good games coming out recently, and I guess we just need to, as the word I would say is the community of gamers. Like we need to be like more. We can all like
rally around the ones that are actually making an effort, not.
But it's not even that. It's like, this is what I'm saying. Going back to the Nintendo situation, right? Is the people that buy Nintendo will still continue to buy this even at the heightened cost, which is a problematic issue. They should not be like, what's the word? They're like, it's like they're blinded by their nostalgia and their love for like Mario. They're like, I love Mario, I'm so obsessed with Mario games and all that kind of shit that I literally need it like a drug. It's almost like they need it to fulfill their happiness, and they'll pay whatever is needed in order to fulfill that feeling. And I see this happening in other areas where people defend dickhead. Like, for instance, I mean, this is a completely separate matter, but Russell Brand's recently, I think yesterday, he's got the police have like, charged him with rape allegations of rape and like sexual misconduct and all this kind of shit. And there's people defending him. Like, fair enough, he's not been convicted yet, but there's people don't want him to end because they want his YouTube videos. There's one guy who's like, we don't want you to go, Russell, because if you're in jail, you can't do YouTube videos. I mean, for fuck's sake, man, get your perspectives in order. Like,
but dude, you know why? It's because they're all like fans of his like conspiracy reveals.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but it's like people need that. Like it's the need for that content to have that continually coming out supersedes the critical thinking of going, hang on a minute, this guy's being done for absolutely terrible things, and if he's found guilty, you should not be supporting this just so you can have your fix of his YouTube conspiracy bullshit. This is fucking insanity. And this is the same thing with Nintendo. People will buy it because they're addicted to Mario or Nintendo products. It's like they are. This is what I'm saying. It's predatory behavior on the highest level, and people are not able. More people need to have critical thinking and be like, hang on a minute, I do love Mario and I love all the content, but fuck you, Nintendo. I'm not paying $80. Yeah. Fuck off. I'm not spending it. I'm going to spend my money elsewhere. But they won't do it, and that's why I'm concerned. I mean, that's what pisses me off about the world, is we need to be more together on this and be like, you know what? No, we're not accepting this. Fuck you. I don't think it will happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. People are just too, smooth-brained, I think is the term.
I think it's the human condition, man. When people like something and they get used to it, and it's like a drug, isn't it? People like Nintendo. It's tied to psyche, isn't it? To your mental well-being and stuff like that. Mm. And people will spend money if it's like a drug. They don't care what it costs as long as they get their fix.
Yeah. Hey, what's that little story about a person like they turn up with a briefcase, and they say basically you can open it. But if you do, like, someone else dies, and you don't know who, and if you don't, it gets passed on to someone else, and then they have the choice. Or is it? No, it's a button. If you don't press it, if you press it, you get £1 million, and someone else dies. But if you don't press it, someone else gets the option to, and you could potentially die. It's like it's sort of a quote on people's
God, this is turned into psychology 101. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, like it's something about people, if they don't know the person, then they'll do it. If you know what I mean?
I think that's definitely.
It could end up being a member of your family. Like, it could be literally anyone. It could be someone you knew.
Yeah, likeliness isn't that if there's 8 billion people in the world, you know, the chances are pretty slim of that being someone who's connected.
Yeah, but true, but you're still killing someone, whether you see it happen or not.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
£1 million. It's £1 million.
Yeah, I don't really want to answer that on stream right now. But no, but you know, but honestly, like these are seriously though, like we're not talking on those kind of levels. Nobody's dying here. Like we're talking about a video game.
No, but I'm saying it was speaking on like people's mental state, like mental condition, like how someone out there would.
And I think loads of people would take the money if it's not directly impacting their circle and their world. But this is like the effect. This is the mentality of human tribalism at its finest. That's why I said like things like borders and countries and stuff is all built off the premise of human tribalism. Like that, the fact that racism exists, segregation of any type, is all comes back to human tribalism. And like people, like I said, if the world ended tomorrow, you know, like when you watch like shit like The Walking Dead, a lot of people like obviously joke about that, but obviously it's like the zombie apocalypse where. But like the funny thing about The Walking Dead, which always amused me, was that it was never really about the undeads. It was about humans being terrible to each other. Because, you know, there would be people looking after their own little group of people, and anyone outside of their group would be viciously murdered if they did anything that could be construed as being detrimental. They'd be just fucking. They'd have their.
I think in some respect, besides the fact that The Walking Dead sort of frittered out for me big time.
Oh, it did, yeah. I think, it did.
It just got the same shit over and over again. But I think the real thing they were shedding a light on is what would happen if that actually happened. And I think it was quite a real representation, because you imagine all the kinds of people in the world, these, big groups of criminals, murderers, rapists, people that like violence, that all team together and make like the most messed up communes, effectively, and it would truly show like the difference between all the people. Like the weak would not inherit the earth in that scenario at all. Like it would just be widespread mayhem and murder.
Well, I've tried having this conversation with another of my friends, Greg, who is adamant that human spirit of goodness and positivity would come through, and I'm saying no, I don't think it would. I unfortunately think it would be chaos and just.
There are a lot of people in the world that I believe that the only reason why they hold fast in a normal-ish life is because the laws would punish them.
Civilization. So, like the civility of our world. If that was all torn down and there was no laws, no police, no nothing, I think you would be fearing for your life at every fucking corner. Like, the goodness in the world, I unfortunately think, this sounds terrible, and I don't mean to say this about it. There is good in this world, 100%, but I still always think that a lot of it's veiled. You know, it's like people are good because sometimes it doesn't affect them. As soon as you don't have the food, or you don't have water, or it involves like the life and death, people would cut people down in a second in order to survive. Like, it's only whilst we live in a plentiful civilized world that we can live comfortably in that manner. Like, human beings, when it comes down to the line, we're savages, we're animals, like, and that's the way it would go, unfortunately. No matter how you look at it, it's just the biology of humans, like, at the basic level, you know.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but 17 years doing the job that I was doing, I met a lot of people, and a lot of those people, I believe, if there were no laws, would have stabbed me on sight. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there are a lot of people out there in the world that just have this evil-ass look, and yeah, it's
well, welcome to the Happy Ctrl+Alt+Debate channel, where we talk about really positive things and make everyone super happy. Fucking hell, man. This has gone the way of the slightly noir feel to it. But
let's talk about the human extinction.
Think about Ellen. She was virtue signaling this time, while behind the scenes it seemed... Yeah, exactly. She's a really good example of total evil, she was, and she portraying herself to be, oh, I'm wonderful, and I love everyone, and I'm such a good person. And there's loads of people like that, and it fucking turned out to be absolutely terrible.
And somehow she still has a massive fan base, and still going.
That's people that don't want to let go. These people, like, they're going to go, like, Ellen did so much for me, and, yeah, but she's a fucking tyrannical piece of shit. Fucking wake up, you fucking absolute...
we also point out, Jim will fix it, did things for people too. So
fucking Jimmy Savile's another... I mean, probably a lot of people, unless there's British people watching this, anyone from the UK won't know who Jimmy Savile is. Just as well, by the way, because he's probably the most prolific, like, pedophile of all time. And he was like probably the epitome of what would be considered a national treasure at the, like, prior to the pedophilia situation. He died.
Wasn't there one of those?
He died before it came out.
Well, all these things came out right after he died. But there was a guy who recently got fired from the Reform Party because he said that Jimmy Savile was like a national institution.
But he wasn't. But he was, though. Prior to hell. Before the allegations, he was, dude.
Yeah, no, he was. But this is the thing. Like, he said this year.
Oh, okay, no, he doesn't even. The guy is like just been remembered as the worst piece of shit to ever have walked in the UK.
Wait, he was basically a paedophile. He ran a show called Jim Will Fix It, where he did
a lot more than that. He did a lot more than that.
Yeah, he did a lot more than that.
But he raised like a lot of money for charity. He opened like a massive like hospital that did saved millions of lives. He did a lot of good. Like, before we get, if we're gonna just quickly go over Jimmy Savile just to summarize him, he did a lot of good for a lot of people. But it was all used
publicity.
Yeah, it was used as a catalyst to do the worst types of pedophilic fucking activities with people that had problems. You know, he had a key because he was such a big person. He had a key to allow him to go into, what was the name of the fucking place? I can't remember.
It was some mental hospital.
It's like a mental hospital, a really well known one in the UK, and he would go in there and like sexually assault mentally handicapped children. And shit, man, absolute the worst fucking type of thing, and all of this, no one fucking knew. Well, people like made.
Don't give me that. Someone in the BBC fucking knew. Like,
the BBC though. They got no one. You got Hugh Edwards as well. Like, look up Hugh Edwards as well. Another one. I mean, it's getting pretty dark. We started off with Nintendo, and now we're discussing pedophiles of the UK, but. Hugh Edwards, another one, Music 10 reader, and he's now fucking an absolute disgrace. He was like one of the most biggest people in the BBC.
Do you know if any of the people that they believe knew have been like tried on that, because I think anyone that was covering for him in the BBC at the time, they should be fucking charged with his crimes.
Nah,
because
any of that, it would have been off the record. No one's going to put it on any paper or any document, are they? Or any recording. Like it would have never have. It would have been discussed in open.
If you imagine how in depth a lot of police investigations can get, there would have been people that would have been with him at a time when he just like vanished into a room, and it lines up with some kids that were assaulted by him. You know, like something like there must have been some kind of full blown.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't part of the inquiry into it, but I think the bottom line was that. The thing is, the BBC is like a national institution. That is literally a national institution, and they probably get away with all kinds of fucking shit. I mean, they get put through the ringer, and they still can continue to exist because they literally.
The fact that a TV license still exists, I think, is a joke.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, to be honest, that shit is not really enforced anyway. Like people can't really. It's really difficult for them.
I heard Labour wants to try and get it put in law, so that the BBC gets saved by the British people. And it's like, look, they make some okay programs for some people, but like it's not something that should be chased. If you want a service paid for, then put a subscription service out like Sky or something like that. Don't just go after someone because they've got a fucking television set because they might see your programs. Put advertising on it. Piss off. Leave us alone. Like it's a joke that they get fucking coddled so much. I don't give a shit that they were the first television broadcasting service in the country. That makes no difference.
Yeah, we got quite a few comments. I haven't really catch up. What a wasted cow. I hate saying it so crudely, but people nowadays truly have degraded in seeing things properly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the part of the thing. Wait, I love Mario, but I can't acknowledge the ridiculous prices. Think about it. No clue. Oh, look, no. I mean, Nintendo is predators. Yeah, we pretty much covered that in detail. I think that we definitely Nintendo are predators. Bad stuff about BBC. Yeah, BBC terrible. Yeah, you look into it, man. There's a lot of stuff that's nefarious and uncovered all kinds of terrible people working there, especially in the 60s, 70s, 80s. That show went totally out there. Have you watched Doctor Strange? You mean the Marvel movie with Benedict Cumberbatch? No, we talking about that?
No, that's not Doctor Strange, is it? No, it's not. No.
What is that then? What am I thinking of?
Yeah. I was thinking Doctor Strangelove, and that's an old movie.
No, not Doctor Strangelove. Doctor Strange, bro. Yeah. Like the Marvel hero. I think.
Oh no. Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know they did a TV show.
Oh, Doctor Who. Okay, Doctor Who's been around for a long time. Yeah.
But again, I don't want to foot the bill for it. It's a forced kind of thing. Like they used to there used to be adverts on TV, didn't there? Like if you don't like, if you like your car, like pay your TV license because they'll come take it away, like all that sort of shit. I remember that from was it 90s? It was some fucking really threatening shit on there.
Sounds about right. All right, well, this has been an interesting podcast. I think we will continue this format for the future. We've done an hour and 15 minutes quite easily, and I don't feel there was any sort of difficult situation. We've covered. I've noticed without the segment situation, we've covered some interesting subjects. We went from Nintendo and ended up in pedophilia, so can't say we don't have variety in our podcast, that's for sure. But yeah, I think we'll call it there, guys. It's been actually probably the other funny thing is it's been our most popular podcast yet. I think we had a peak. We had like 5 people on the stream, which is normally we like stream to 1 or 2 people. I think we had a couple, so. Thanks to all the people that turned up and listened to our ramblings. Hope it's been fun and you've had an hour of entertainment. We do our best. So, not sure how the schedule will continue. We probably will do it on an ad hoc basis. If we have an interesting subject, we will do something. But in the meantime, hope everyone has a great time, and we'll catch you on the next one. Until then. Have a good one and take care.
And thanks, Wake, for your contributions.
Yeah, Wake, thank you. You've been you've been providing a lot of the commentary, which we love. So thank you, and yeah, see you later, guys. Have a good one.
Peace out.